I guess we're gonna try to attempt a somewhat video review for this type of blog. Uh, for this review, I guess I'll review my Samsung Galaxy J7V, phone I never really heard of, but I guess it's like their Samsung's budget phones. Um, the things I like about the Samsung J7V, for starters, is probably the screen. It's a high resolution. It's a pretty high resolution screen, at least what I'm comparing it to, which was a Galaxy S3 from what I upgraded to. Screen's I think 5.5 inches, LCD. Resolution, I think the native resolution for this is probably like 1920 by 1080. So it's pretty high resolution. Looks great, fantastic from what I'm used to. Battery life, what was it I read? It has 33,000 milliamp battery life, and from what I've been able to do, I can get about, I don't know, 3 days on a full charge without even having to charge it back up. But I'm not exactly a smartphone power user either, so maybe it's less if you actually use your smartphone unlike I do. It does have a power saver mode, which I do have turned on as well. You can set that to not being on at all, like a minimum power saving mode and a maximum power saving mode. For storage, it's got 16 gigabytes of internal storage, I believe, as well as a micro SD slot. Currently, right now, I have a 128 gigabyte SD in there, but I think you can upgrade it to about 250, however high that goes. I think it's 250. Whenever it comes to interacting with the phone, the interface is nice, simple, clean, I guess depending on the theme you choose, but for me it seems really responsive. Swipe left, swipe right, instant access to everything. The layout's nice. You can always change it if you don't like it. I guess that kind of flows into how customizable like an Android phone is, really. With the themes, the color choices, the icons, your widgets that you have on there. I really like the Android phones for that sort of feature. It allows me to just tailor it to whatever I need, and I think that's probably the biggest selling point on why I'm sticking with Android over like an iPhone or anything like that. Moving on, the speaker on the J7 is actually quite good. I really enjoy my music, and I have a Bluetooth speaker that I usually hook up to, but I was surprised whenever I first listened to it that as a standalone, the speaker on this phone is fantastic. They have it off to the side, so whenever you're holding it, you're not ever going to really be covering the speaker, so you don't get that palm muted effect in an uncomfortable holding position. You can just hold it however you want, and it'll come out crystal clear. The design of the phone, it's like any other it's like any other smartphone, really. Super thin though, probably the thinnest phone I own. Like the overall design, sleek, sort of like a brushed aluminum, if you would. Apart from that, a big seller for me was that there's a headphone jack, although the headphone jack's on the bottom for some reason. And ironically enough, after I got this phone, I specifically wanted a headphone jack because for my car rides, I wanted to be able to listen to music, and the only way I was able to do it at that time was through a headphone jack because Bluetooth didn't work for whatever reason with my system. But as soon as I upgraded phones, guess what? Bluetooth worked. Didn't need a headphone jack, so now it's literally not even being used anymore at the moment. I guess if I take it on a jog or a walk, I'll get some use out of it then. Camera-wise, 8 megapixel camera on the back, which is really nice. There's a 5 megapixel camera on the front, which is, it's alright. Gets the job done. Dislikes of this, I'd probably have to say the only two things I really dislike about it is probably how long it is. It's super long for at least my hands, so using it one-handed at times is kind of cumbersome. I really have to get another hand in there to maneuver around and click on things. Whenever I have it, right side up, lengthwise, like if I'm making calls or anything like that. Um, for viewing videos and such, whenever it's tilted on its side, though, it's fine. It's completely nice. And the other thing that I don't like about it is how slowly it charges without the. I guess it's sort of like a lightning cable. For some reason, this phone comes with a specific cable that just charges it insanely fast. Like, I think about an hour from completely zero, and it's charged to 100%. But if you're like me, you have a whole bunch of other micro USB cables just lying around. Like, I have a couple of nice braided Anchor micro USBs that I love to use to charge, and whenever I use those, it's just it doesn't happen, man. Like, it just charges so slowly, you give up on it. So there's my short review on the Samsung Galaxy J7V.